All right, so welcome everyone to a game. I'm just gonna mute you for a sec. Welcome everyone to a game of Airewood Travelers. This time we'll be having Brendan playing his dwarf cleric of Morden, and we'll have him introduce himself in a bit. And I will show everyone just exactly where we're going. So he is on this strange quest for more like a pilgrimage. And in order for him to get started, or her to get started, she must travel to weeks away and then continue a quest to please Morden's divine spirit. And when she feels the urge to return home after completing this said task, she can then return home. However, only one person has decided to travel with her, and that is Alyssa, another mercenary of the same company, who was the only one confident enough to go on what might as well be this suicide mission. And so, this is where they're starting off from, and they have to take her a week away. So they go on a caravan, they take her here, then they go on a boat and take her across the ice lake. Then they just drop off and they head here and here. And with that, that is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And they drop them off in the middle of the forest here. And then they unblindfold them and then leave them behind. Instead of heading back the direct way they can so they can follow them back, they actually take the detour and go into the mountains. And with that, we will have our player introduce themselves.
I'm Brendan. I'm going to be playing Harlig, the Myth Cleric. She is a earthy lass and is excited to go and perform deeds for Moradin.
All right, so as we know, they have been dropped off here. And Alyssa, of course, after you hear them leave, and you wait a day for them to leave, or at least a few hours until you can't hear them anymore, you and Alyssa take your blindfolds off, and you're in the middle of a forest.
So, should we set up camp or just get to it today?
Oh well, I have some camping supplies. It was nice enough for them to feed us at least until they got here, assholes.
uh, yes. Well, yes. I think camp. Camp is the way to do it. The camp, we sleep on it. I'll spend some time in prayerful meditation. And first thing in the morning, we'll go in Moradin's direction.
Morden has a direction?
All directions are Moradin's.
I'm not splitting myself apart just so we can go somewhere. And she takes out her 2-man tent and starts pounding in pittons and with her hammer and makes a tent for the two of you. You take an
While
hour.
she's doing that, while she's setting up the tent, I will go and gather firewood.
Okay. So after you gather firewood and you kind of she ignites it with a firebolt. You are going. Do you pray to Morden to discover which way you need to go?
Yes, I would spend the afternoon, evening in prayerful contemplation of Moradin's plan for me.
So, all right, I can't use that because.
And if and if Moradin isn't particular, if I don't get anything from him, then we'll basically uh, roll lots and pick a direction from there.
Okay. Well, you're a cleric of life, and after praying to him, you feel that you need to go to the southwest. Or the southwest is the hexagon table can let you go.
As far as southwest as the hexagon goes. So as soon as when I feel the pull to the southwest, I will say a prayer of thanks to Moradin and let Elisa know our destination for the morning.
Okay, I'm just going to put a dot on there so that you know that later on when they later on, so you know where to find your home afterwards. Okay, so you tell Alyssa, and she says, "Are you sure? I didn't bring a map or anything, and I don't have that much gold. So, you sure that's the right way?"
Well, I have a little bit of gold. Of course, we can share. Companions and all. And I think the two of us should compile our own map, a destination for Moradin's blessings.
Well, I mean, we can try. I didn't exactly bring any quills or anything. You're muted.
Sorry. I think that I have no doubt that we can just keep track. And you have a fairly sharp mind. I have a fairly sharp mind. And if we come to a town, then we'll buy quill and parchment. We'll make a map. It'll be fine. It will be as Moradin wishes it.
Well, if you say so. And you guys continue to the southwest. Where's my counter table? All right. So everyone else, so that everyone else can keep track of our movements. Infinity. So we are here right now, just under the Miskikdom title. We are heading this way. And that is not the dice I need to be rolling. So we go down here. So that's one day. And day 2, we do actually encounter something. So I don't know why I keep rolling that. On the second day, this is actually plays into your D&D pretty well. So on the second day of journey, so you will have consumed 2 food rations. You stumble across a child who is lost in the woods. He is just crying to himself. And he doesn't look like he's handling the wilderness too well. He seems pretty beat up and has a small satchel. And he's just beside this tree crying to himself. Again, that is right here.
Is there no one around? Any signs of a road, a path?
What's your perception bonus? And I just rolled for you, so whatever your bonus is.
It is 3.
So you rolled a 21, and you look around, and you don't see anyone or anything nearby. So it seems quite obvious to you that there is nothing near this child, and nothing really stands out to be potentially dangerous about the child. He doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons. He has a small hatchet, but uh, being experienced mercenary, that's not much of a threat to you if he were for some reason to wield it against you.
I would go up to the child. What are you doing out here all alone, little one?
Um, I was just trying to help Mom and Pa look for something that I heard that they wanted to find out here, and I'm lost. I don't know how to get home.
Oh no. Do you have. Oh, how far away is your home? Do you know how long have you been lost out here?
He says, I've been away for 6 days.
Oh my, are you hungry? Have you found things to eat? Like roots and berries and stuff? Do you need
He
something to eat?
he shakes his head, and you can see that although he's out of rations, the axe has like lots of uh, berries and like berry juice, and uh, has been worn out. So he's been surviving out here at least.
Well, at least you're not hungry. Um, all right. So, how to find how to find your parents? Ooh, do you live near any landmarks? Do you live near a river, near a mountain? Is there something special in the forest near where you live?
He says, um, I live near the ocean. Starfall is near the ocean, and um, I'm not really. I mean, I think it's to the east or the west. I don't. I think it's the east.
Ooh, okay. Uh, well, how about we give you a couple traveling companions? Maybe the three of us can find our way to your home.
And at this point, I'll have both of you make survival checks. You'll be the red die. That's not looking good. So, what's your survival bonus?
3.
So, you two kind of have a general idea where east is. Of course, it's pretty much the opposite way you're going. So, I will roll which east you're going. So,
Let's see. So if that is southwest to meet up with the child, then I guess that would be east, right, Elisa? See?
um,
Is that
I'm not really good at this sort of thing, but I think we have the right track. I mean, the if we're going to the ocean, that well, it does seem to be to the east.
all right? Child, what is your name? I'm so excited. I forgot to ask you your name.
Um, my name is Dave.
All right, Dave. Let's. Do you have anything else you need to do in this clearing? Is there anything else you need to gather up before we see if we can try and find your home?
He shakes his head. No, this is everything, and he kind of shows you what's inside the satchel. And there's like 2 food rations left, and I'm gonna say there's like a journal in there.
Sorry about that.
Nothing. He has 2 food rations and a journal.
All right. Well, okay. Um, so, young Dave, should we Should we head home, or what was it that you were looking for Ma and Pa?
Um, I don't know. They just said it would make them lots of money. I think it's called a leprechaun.
Yes, I understand that if you can catch one, they give you a pot of gold. But they're quite wily and quick.
And Alyssa just glares at the two at you and she says, and probably not real.
Now, Alyssa, not everything under Moradin's sun it has been discovered yet. You never know what is and is not real. Plus, the Fae are, well, they're Fae.
Well, I'll have you know I've never seen one. So
I've never seen a red dragon. I believe they exist.
she just stares at you. Fine. Let's get moving. I get it. I'm a mythical creature, whatever.
Oh, come on, Davey. Dave, sorry. Come on, Dave. Let's see if we can get you home.
All right. So you guys heading southeast and nothing there.
At least it's a generally easterly direction. That's something.
And on the third day, you guys are down to 5 rations. On third day, you hit the ocean, and of course the cold breeze comes in from the north, and you look up and you see this just large cluster of towns. You live close to your home city is close to this area, so you know that about these towns, but of course you've never heard, like you may have never heard them, being dwarven societies are pretty isolated. You may have heard of Ulba. um as your mercenary, you probably came out to Ulba from time to time, and maybe Lamet, but Konya, Babonic, and Mistwood, and all the other towns, they're pretty far away for dwarven legs to go without purposely going on a pilgrimage. So you get to here, and you see the towns in the far distance. And
Uh,
Alyssa just says,
Dave, is that your is the are those the towns that you live in?
um, yeah, I think so. And he like, oh yeah, the tower in the on Starfall, and he points out like this tower that has just this lone flag. And of course, it has like its flag is just like a falling star.
Ah, look at that. See, we're what an auspicious beginning.
All right, I threw that on the ground.
Keep the roll. Keep the roll.
All right, so you guys actually get a day. So another 4 days goes by, and you guys have one ration left. He's at least surviving off the land. He's surviving that at least that tolerable. And but as you guys get to a day away from Starfall, or 2 days for the most part. Ooh. Let us see what we encounter. All right. You guys encounter just these huge heaping swarms of ravens. And there's 4 of them, and it looks like there's a carcass on the ground, and they're all trying to like swarm up and try to take it from each other. And uh, they're not they're like trying to peck at each other, but none of the swarms actually become violent enough to actually just go their way and attack each other.
We should probably stay away from that. I don't think we should bother with it. Any idea what the carcass was?
It looks like it might be. I'll say it looks like a deer. Just a really old. I wouldn't even say old. Probably a fresh deer. Seems it doesn't look like they killed it, but it definitely looks like uh something killed it.
I think we should skirt around this. There's no reason to charge headlong into danger.
So you guys start moving around it. How far do you say you guys go away from it?
Ooh, probably, I'd say like 50, 60 feet.
Okay, you stay about 60 feet away, and you just kind of keep Dave close. And they like some of them turn their heads, and when they try to like alert the others are too busy fighting each other. So eventually, like a fight breaks out between them, and there's just this huge cloud of fucking ravens fighting each other. And you guys just book it before they decide to turn their attention on you guys. And
That was rather close.
you get to so you run to you guys eat your last ration, and then you get into Starfall. Now it's a port city, and it's pretty diverse. They don't practice too much faith here. It's more of a college for wizards, but due to the farming village nearby, Alicor, they definitely had to employ some more militaristic minds, which is mines. So they have it's ruled by kind of a baron, and they have soldiers that answers to him, but he's just an overglorified mayor for the most part, and he sends people around uh, their land to kind of protect Alicor, and they do have like 3 warships that kind of go around and back. But mostly Starfall is more renowned for their magical practices and wizardry.
Okay.
And they have a couple colleges there that kind of try to fight for the Baron's attention and money. From what you understand about it, at least that's just general knowledge. Um, so you get into Starfall.
Dave, so do you live in Starfall? Do you live outside of Starfall?
Oh, I know how to get home from here. Follow me.
All right, let's go.
So you follow him, and you he takes you to a house, and he knocks on the door, and uh this crying woman opens the door, and she's like, "Oh, Davy!" And she hugs him and pulls him in, and Davy introduces you to her, and she invites you in for tea, and to and you guys, as a reward, the parent gives you 3 healing potions.
Oh, this is far too much. Far too much. We can't take it.
She says, I would pay much more than that if I could. I Davy is everything to me, and without his father, I really can't keep an eye on him. And I'm so glad that there's people like you to watch over for people who get lost.
Well, Father Moradin smiled upon Davy and set us on the path to bring him home to you. I'm just glad that we could do it, but I insist. If We do not need your healing potion. I tell you what, keep these two. I will give this one to my companion, but it's unnecessary. We Moradin has blessed your family, and with any luck and further blessings, you will enjoy a long and fruitful life, young Davy.
So you're talking about just kind of opting out of getting the reward, and Alyssa just clears her throat and leans in and whispers to you, maybe at least get us some gold so we can buy some more food.
Good point. Gold. I'm sorry. How about instead of healing potions, would you have a few gold pieces, perhaps? Maybe some rations to replace what we've spent on the trip back here.
She says, sure. Of course. And she gives you she gives the one potion to Alyssa, which I will put on right now. And she gives the two of you 25 gold just to at least pay for the other potion.
Thank you very much. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you. And this will absolutely take care of the costs that we had. And now, Davy, you stay near the city. You wandered off quite far this time.
He says, don't worry, I will. I won't be looking for these leprechauns again. And the mother is just like, oh my, I told you not to go looking for those. Those aren't real. Nobody's ever found one. Nobody's ever seen one. And she says, and he's like, but I read it in the book, Mom. And she just like hugs him. And Alyssa's just kind of looking at you like, I think we're overstaying this time around.
We should be going. I thank you very much. For the gold and the healing potion. We absolutely appreciate it. Um, do you know of a tavern or hostel that we could stay at?
Oh, of course. Just go over there. And she then goes outside and brings you outside. And she points to a three-story tavern. Um, what are we gonna call it? Um, we'll call it the Dancing Flame. And you see on like the sign, the fire is a permanent flame, and it's just a bright flame that's just swaying and like some jumping across the sign.
Lisa, this is just your kind of place.
She says, "Oh yeah, this should be fun. This should be really fun." And she stretches herself out, and she says, "Maybe if I dance good enough, they'll give us a room for free."
I believe you can.
All right, so you two go in, and you see an elderly fellow running the bar. He says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
We're seeking a place for the evening, but perhaps we could, instead of paying you in coin, we could barter for a room.
So you notice that many of the like patrons are like apprentices or soldiers, and you do see like there's a few workers here, but not too many. They're mostly just like, and these are skilled laborers. And he says, "Well, we don't get too many entertainers around here. They usually all go to Alacor because the farmers are more polite. But if you've got if you got a routine that you want to go, uh, to do, go ahead, and I'll let the performance speak for itself.
Many thanks. You will not be displeased.
All right. So again, she's still stretching, and she's still stretching, getting warmed up. And she says, anything you want to tell me before I go up there and probably embarrass myself?
Let may Morgan guide your limbs. May the blessings of Morgan guide you. He has set us upon this path, and if in the course of your dancing someone were to tell you where we could find a job, I'd appreciate that too. See what you could do about that.
Oh, I see how it is. So I'm basically doing all the leg work. And she kind of just flexes her visible leg.
Moradin will be pleased to assist you and guide your limbs.
She says, fine, I'll do everything myself. And she blows you a kiss before heading up to this kind of a table. There's no proper stage here. It's just, she just jumps onto an empty table.
I'll move the other tables so that she has a place to move the other less empty tables, one or two people, and I'll move them around to help her. That way, when she does her jumping and tumbling portion of her routine, she'll be able to go from table to table like she prefers.
Oh, yeah. So when she sees you moving the other tables and she says, oh, we're doing the full exercise. And she jumps down, and while you're moving tables, she goes and gets a bunch of torches and moves the two of them, and she puts six standing torches in the floor. And then she gets up on one of the tables, and she lights all the torches on fire. And that as soon as she lights the torches, everyone's like, whoa, 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 what's going on over here? And she uses her dancing lights cantrip to make a second her on the other table. We'll just pretend that there's like a third, like there's three round tables in a triangle, and there's six torches around it.
Sounds good. Gentlemen, please prepare yourself, prepare your senses, and probably want to be seated. You will be astounded. That's all I need to say.
All right. She's got a 19, which is
plus a D4.
Oh, plus a D4 because you use guidance on there. She's got a 22. That will do well. So you see this, just your guidance spell taking effect during some portions of her dance, as you notice that like some of her like steps are kind of misplaced, but then you see like this kind of just little like light kind of go over her ankles or her wrists or her hands or even her back, and you can see like every time it happens, like it kind of fixes up a minor slip up that she's doing. And you see her, and she's a little distracted, and you can tell she's a little distracted from having to concentrate on all the spells that she's casting mid dance. And of course, there's the dancing lights that are making a second her and imitating everything that she's doing while she's doing flips and stretching across sometimes both tables. And during some of even during some of the times, you notice that like you notice that there's two flames of like two torches are lit. And you see sometimes the flames kind of jump across over her and land on another torch, and then the other torch is empty while the other and the flames just keep jumping across the torches. And everyone is just kind of enthralled, and you can see them talking to eventually the full performance is done, and everyone's just well, for the lack of a better word, gawking at her, as this is one of the only performers in town now that she's here, and they've never seen anything like it. Like, they've seen some lute players and stuff, but they've never seen a full theatrical event like this. So
as they're all sitting there kind of gawking at her after the performance is ended and she's kind of done her bow,
she
I'll look
doesn't stop
around.
bowing. You see, after she's done, she just does some small dances and belly dances, step dances, and even some more sophisticated dances. You see her leaning in and talk to some people and hearing what they have to say. And they're flipping silver coins at her.
That's right. Yes, gentlemen. Yes, that's what a wonderful job. Yes. And as I'll go pick up the coins that they're tossing at her.
Okay. Well, they're not going to stop for 10 minutes or so. She does this for a pretty long time, so the coins aren't going to stop for a while. And the barkeep says, well, that was most impressive. That was some of the best dancing and manipulation of magic I've seen in quite some time. You two did quite well.
She certainly has her skills. She certainly has her skills.
And he says, well, so what you looking for? You wanted a room?
Yes, a room, a meal, a lead on a job prospect, maybe?
He says, well, I'd be willing to help you out in all those departments. And he gives you a room, and it's marked 22. And he says, second floor, should be on the left side. And he says, now, once you get settled there, I will tell you another job that we actually have a few jobs that, if you are combat ready, I believe that you can help us out with. You may even be sent to the farm nearby. There's a large farming community, so there'll be plenty of work there, that's for sure.
Oh, excellent.
So, and he says, as for a meal, well, just go get your stuff settled, and I'll give you what I can.
Perfect. We'll see you after we freshen up.
All right, so after that, she uses prestidigitation on herself and you after you collect what is going to be give me these. After what you collect is 20 silver pieces.
Not a bad take for a slow night, don't you think?
She's sweating a bit, and she says, maybe for you. And she wipes some sweat off of her head. All right. So as you're eating your food in front of you, he says, now, you see, we have actually, I'm going to have to look up what the fuck that is. I've never... I know they're a thing, but I'd have to look up their stats. Because I could see this being around. He says, now, we managed to get rid of most of the threats by ourselves. But when we've run into a monster that, well, we call it's a gnoll, that's for sure, but he's a damn tough gnoll. And we've been kind of hindering his movements from time to time. But from what we can tell, he's still in the area looking to try to make a new pack. and we were looking for somebody to get rid of them.
Do you have any more information about what kind of gnoll this is? Some of those gnolls can be pretty tricky.
He says he's a tough bastard. A lot of people have been avoiding him, and anyone who encounters him either dies or ends up getting stripped of all their belongings.
A gnoll that strips people of their belongings? Usually they just eat them.
He says, well, he can't get gold from people if they're dead.
Good point.
So that's one. And there we go. Ooh, that's really high. We're getting really tough encounters. He says there's also a lizard shaman that has been spotted in the area. If you think you can take him.
A lizard what?
A lizard folk shaman.
Oh, yeah? Boy, this community sure does draw the beasties, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a very magical community up here. It's very difficult to kind of just appease everything, you know. And also, there has been some druids patrolling the wilds. Do you think you could just tell them to maybe try to adjust some of their concerns? We'd be grateful.
Absolutely. I can. We can go. We can probably talk to the druid. Do you have any idea where they're located? We can get those knocked out and proceed from there.
Yeah. They're definitely. He says the ones outside. The druids are outside near Alicor. There's a forest nearby there, kind of in between us, Starfall and Alicor. You should find them in there. Everything actually should be in there. So just be careful you don't run into the giant gnoll or the singular gnoll. He's very dangerous.
Well, he certainly sounds it. Well, I probably stay for the evening and head off in the morning. About how far is the druid grove? I assume it's a full grove of druids.
Says if there's a grove there, I'd be very surprised. But it should just be. It should just be the three of them.
All right. We'll check it out.
All right, so you guys go looking for the druids, and you definitely go find them.
Before we leave the town, we'll replenish our rations, 10 each.
Yeah. So actually, when you guys go to sleep, you guys gain 1 experience and level up from saving the child.
Oh, excellent.
And you don't. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So you get 1 experience for saving the child, and of course, you guys gain the benefits of being level 2 for these next encounters.
Alex is trying not to kill me in the first game.
Trust me, if everything has been as poorly as the other games have, I will probably still wind up killing you. Whoops.
Dope.
And just as a warning, just as a warning to everyone else, this has not been easy for any of our parts. Technically, only one person should be alive right now. Of
Oh,
everyone,
Alex, you big softy, you're keeping us alive.
I know. Of everyone that should be alive, that's alive right now, only one of them should be alive, and only one NPC would have survived. All other PCs and NPCs up until this point should have died. All right. So of course, she gets sorcerer points. And of course, gets another spell slot.
I gotta say, for a level, two character, she's 23 hit points at level 2. That is not bad.
You want to know something too? Alyssa has 18.
Wow. Lots of con in this party.
All right. So as I was saying, you guys are heading on. You two are heading on your way to Alacor, and of course, you know that all the dangers here are in this area. So there's the 3 druids, the gnome, the knoll, and I can't remember what the other one was. I'll just reroll a new one. So and then so
Oh, the serpent, lizard folk serpent, or
oh yeah,
shaman.
the shaman. Yeah. So you encounter the 3 druids first, and it looks like they just scared off some lumberjacks. And the 3 druids turn to you. One of them is 2 of them are elves. One of them is human, and he sees you two, and he says, "Ah, so they finally sent people to kill us."
No, no. Why do you immediately assume this? Oh, it's the
Yeah,
act.
yeah, and the great sword. I'm sorry, we didn't want to give you that impression.
Sorry, that wasn't. There's a knoll around here that is apparently very large. That was what the axe was for, not obviously you. We actually came to talk to you. We understand that there's an issue between you, and we were hoping to be a neutral third party, and see if we could work this out in a non-violent, life-preserving manner.
Well, we've already been trying to stem the cutting the wood loggers over there from chopping any more of the woods. There's a very magical creature in here, and we can't have them cutting down any more of the trees or it'll risk killing it.
Ah, um, what creature exactly is it?
Now, wouldn't the point of keeping secrets be very counterproductive if I told you what it was?
Oh, I didn't know that what it was a secret. You just said that it was a magical creature, not a secret magical. I'm sorry, I'm blathering on. Okay, is there a better place where the loggers could continue their activity? Um, it, Everyone needs to work. We're simply just trying to find a third way.
We've already provided a third way, and they won't listen.
Uh,
We've told them to go to the misty woods just west of here. It's a lot longer of a journey and may require protection, but it's we cannot afford to let these woods lose any more of their lumber.
Okay. How about um, well, you're concerned about the lumberjacks coming into this forest. Perhaps if you were to provide some of that protection, maybe you could walk the paths and steer away the some dangerous animals. I understand that druids are quite good with conversing and talking to animals. If you could push some of the more dangerous animals, it is a longer way, but I'm sure that if the lumberjacks didn't have to contend with some of the more dangerous creatures along that path,
New
that
SMS from
the
Dollface.
hold on,
Press
sorry.
Uconnect phone button and say
Sorry.
He says, "Well, if it was our job to protect them, then we might as well just cut down the tree ourselves."
No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the you don't want them to cut the woods over here, and totally understand that. Secret magical creature, I get it. Um, they're concerned not only about the distance that they have to travel to the other woods that are not as much of an issue for you, um, but also dangerous creatures. If perchance one of you, maybe on a rotating basis, could simply walk the path and encourage the more dangerous creatures to uh, stay away from the loggers somewhat, just to mitigate some of their danger, um, so that the only thing that they're really contending with is the extra distance. I'm sure that they would be okay with walking the extra distance and not having to contend with you as well. You know how people can be. Lazy is a harsh word, but true, unfortunately.
He says, "We already know what is stalking them, and unfortunately, we're not in any position to get rid of it."
Oh, oh, what's stalking them?
He says, "Some large knoll."
The darn knoll again. Well, my friend and I are actually that's kind of one of the things that we were hoping to take care of. Um, if you could assist us in taking care of the knoll, then the knoll would be less likely to prey on both the loggers and I assume the creatures of the forest, and it would encourage the loggers to get the heck away from you. Win-win, right?
He thinks about it, and do you want to roll persuasion or?
Yes, I'll roll persuasion and guidance if I can.
Well, you can use
If
it. You can help Alyssa if you're going to use guidance.
I would rather help Alyssa uh, and use the guidance because I
Okay.
can guarantee her persuasion is better than my 0.
Yeah, she's at sitting at +5. So 23 versus a 8. So they're talking amongst each other, and she says, "Well, come on. If we go tell them after you help us defeat the knoll, then we can go tell them that the knoll is no longer a threat, and they can go to the other forest."
Yes,
And
they'll go to the other forest and they won't bother this one.
the 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 druids are kind of looking at each other, and the human scratches the back of his head, and he says, "Well, I don't really see why not." And he walks over to you, and he casts. He's the one druid. The two elves, they look like proper druids, but the other druid looks more like a cleric of Obadiah. And you see him. He's wearing wooden full plate, and he comes over,
Wow.
and he's going to cast aid on you both. Now let me go look up what that does because I've never fucking used that spell before.
Is
Reading.
aid temporary hit points?
For 8 hours, your maximum hit points is increased by 5.
Nice. Oh, that's
So,
something.
and he's going to cast Heroism on you both. And he says, now make it quick. The knoll resides in that cavern over there. And he points to what looks like just up the hill.
What's heroism do again?
It's going to give you 4 temporary hit points per round, and you're immune to being frightened.
Oh, excellent.
The other 2 cast Longstrider on both of you, so you can get there faster.
Many thanks. I would stay and chat, but we don't want these spells to run off. Thank you again, and we'll go.
You both run off, and it doesn't take long to find that knoll that everyone's been talking about. When you go and confront him, he smells you guys coming.
And here I thought we were clean enough.
And maybe it's because you're too clean.
That's true.
And he sniffs the air, and as soon as he spots you, you see him. He's already ready for battle. And I'll have everyone roll initiatives, which I don't know your initiative bonus is.
+0.
Alyssa got 16. Mole got 8 or 7. And your bonus is +0, but you did get 13.
Woohoo!
So you guys are standing about 120 feet away, or I'll actually say about 80 feet. And you guys are looking into the cavern, and he's got some lights, a campfire in there. And she's going to shoot a firebolt at him. Starting off strong with a fucking critical hit, Alyssa.
Oh, yeah, my girl.
Dealing 9 fire damage. The bolt strikes him in the head, and he yipes as he shakes his head and now he has this burn mark over his face. And it's your turn.
I will advance the 25 feet. That is my move. Or what's Longstrider increase it to? Does it double it?
It boosts your movement by 10 feet, so 35.
Okay, so 30. I'll move my 35 feet towards it. I'll take my axe, bang it on my shield, and cast Toll the Dead on it.
I'm going to assume that 12 doesn't beat it.
12 does not beat it. 13 is the DC.
Okay, it shakes its head in pain and kind of does this whimpering laughter.
All right.
And that's a D12.
Correct.
It takes 6 points of necrotic damage and shakes its head a little as it charges towards you. It's 5 feet away from you, 10 feet away from you.
Okay.
And it can't attack. Alyssa moves beside you, and she's going to cast. She's actually going to go ahead and cast Sleep.
Okay.
Poor creature. $14, $21, $24, $25. And that just barely makes it. So you see this just dust kind of sparkle around it, and a bunch of like clouds float around its head, and it just slumps over. Not falling on the ground, but just kind of hanging itself in place.
All right. So I'm going to look at Elisa and say, well, that's an awfully effective spell, isn't it?
She says, "You know, maybe we should just double strike it. And she
Or
kind of stands on the other side of it and pulls out her greatsword.
should we try and bind it? We
She
can bind it up
says-
with rope, and that will certainly make it easier to kill it.
Okay,
I
so
don't-
you guys tie it up. She pulls out a rope and you guys tie it up. It's sleeping all tied up in this rope. And she says, now we can kill it.
Now we can kill it.
All right, so you're both going to make attack rolls. And if you hit it, you guys crit. So I'm going to roll for her first. And she's actually going to miss.
Put a little too much behind it. Let's.
And you are going to attack. What's your bonus?
Sorry. It is +4.
You're going to miss.
No, whoa. It can't be +4. No,
Well,
it's plus. No, it's +4. Strength plus proficiency. It's sure not 4.
So you both swing at it and you both miss, and it's just sleeping. And she's like, that is. We'll just pretend that didn't happen and try again.
I won't tell anybody if you won't.
Okay, so it just snoozes. She hits it this time, and I'm gonna make your attack roll as well for +4. And you crit. If it wasn't gonna crit already, it's gonna crit it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a battle axe.
I have a battle axe, but I am using a shield, so it's only
Okay.
a D8.
So you
D8
do
plus 2.
7 points of damage. I did not roll too great on the dice. I rolled a 1 and a 4.
That's all right.
And she is going to hit it for 15, 18, 20 points, which between the both of you is enough to kill it. So you slice it you set it in the side of the arm and the shoulder, and she just stabs her sword right in its back through and through, and it's like and then it just once you pull your weapons out of it, it fully slumps over and is like
Harlig will kneel down next to it, put her hands over it, and may Moradin's blessing give you peace. Go to the afterlife and find the redemption that you deserve. May Moradin take you under his wing, snuggle you close.
So you're running around talking, like praying for this soul, and Alyssa just runs off into the cave, and she's like, hey, I found 53 coins.
Oh, 53 coins? Oh, let's get that now. That's good. Anything else back there?
She's looking still. Actually, she doesn't get a bonus, but she does find something else.
20 silver, 53 gold, 8 gold. Okay.
I am looking in the wrong book. Why are there so many books?
That way Wizards of the Coast can make more money.
Not that we're complaining.
No. Hey, I'm not complaining at all.
And let's see what we get. All right, so she finds a potion and she hands it to you.
All right. I'm betting she's probably going to be better off trying to identify it herself. Why don't you try and identify it, and I will pray for you. And maybe between the two of us, we can figure it out. I'll cast guidance on her, and because
okay.
Well,
she doesn't get a bonus, but she does make it with a 15 total. And She says, something in my head just tells me it's a potion of greater healing.
Oh. Why don't you hold on to it? I can
So
always heal myself and
So you have 57 gold and 20 silver, and she has 56 gold after splitting it up. And after that, she picks up her rope again from the creature, and she says, "Now back to the druids, right?"
yes, back to the druids.
And you head over there, and the druid said, "We heard the yelp from over here."
Yes,
If
it was a hard fought battle.
she says, "Yes, so difficult."
Yes, we came through completely unscathed. That is the quality of warrior we are.
She says, "Yep, didn't miss once."
Nope. Took it down without it getting to touch us.
And they're like, right. They say, now all you have to do is convince the loggers to go away, and we will too.
Shouldn't be a problem. Now that the Knoll menace is no more, we will shouldn't have any trouble convincing the loggers to not molest you or this forest.
He says, we will be waiting for their response.
And in all fairness, if their response is in the negative and they still want to continue logging this forest, I just want you to know we will do our best to convince them not to. But even if they say that they're going to continue logging here, we will come back and inform you of their decision in the interest of fairness, because you've been more than fair with us.
Very well. And they nod to you.
And so we'll go find the loggers, I guess.
They're not that far away. They're like 200 feet watching the conversation.
On our way away from the druids, I'll look to Elisa and go, "Did you remember to grab the rope that we tied up the knoll with?"
Yeah, of course. And she holds it up. It's covered in blood. She's like, oh, shit.
Press the digitate.
Yeah, she's like, I totally forgot. And she just starts spamming the cantrip over herself. She's got it. She's now sparky.
Good. Now no one will know.
The loggers are like, what the fuck?
Gentlemen. So we just saw us talking to the druids, whom you seem to be having this very tense standoff with. I understand you want to continue your profession. That's wonderful. Love to see industriousness in the other races. The knoll that I understand that you've been having issues with in the effort to go to the other woods, it is no more. It's been dealt with by myself and my compatriot here, Elisa. Honestly, more Elisa than me. She's just she's savage. She's just savage. Anyway, the knoll is no more.
It's like coy rar.
Anyway, the knoll is no more. You really should. I would recommend. I should say. I tell you what to do. I would recommend maybe going into the other woods now that the knoll menace is not a menace anymore, or of a rotting body.
So, assuming that we're doing the normal procedure of letting her talk, like Alyssa talk to them, and
me casting guidance,
yeah. So the conversation isn't looking good, and you tell her to kind of remember to keep cool and keep to being herself. And the guy's like, look, man, like we're not leaving till we're sure that it's dead. And she says, we killed the damn thing. Look at my sword. And she forgot to prestidigitate it, and they're like, oh, all right. She
And
said,
you can
she
come
said,
with us to the cave. I'm not. It's just dead in there right now. I suppose we could have brought you a trophy, even though that is rather gruesome.
and he says, I'm sorry. No, we saw you guys run in there, and we didn't really hear anything from this far away. So
Well,
we saw you.
that's because we're such superior fighters that there isn't a whole lot of back and forth clashing. We just did what we had to do and got out.
And he says, yeah, we'll go on. We'll leave you. Uh, the druids can keep these trees anyways. They're poplars and they're too hard for furniture.
Yeah, it's honestly lower quality trees. Better trees over there, you'll make more money on them anyway.
He's like, yeah, definitely.
And no one needs the hassle of messing with the druids. You know how they are.
He says, damn straight. We'll take our business elsewhere. And
That's the way to be.
he, oh,
Before you go, I heard something about a lizard folk shaman that was molesting the farms in the area. Would you guys know anything about that?
he says, oh, he lives under our fucking dock.
Oh, that could be a problem. And y'all haven't been able to get rid of him?
No, he's been a pain in the ass.
It-
Every time we bring our ship back, he waits for them to leave, and then he sinks them so he can go and get whatever's in the water. Piece of
Ugh.
shit. Every time we try to go fight him, he just shoots fire at us.
And fire can be very scary, especially when it's flying at your face. Am I right?
Alyssa's like, yeah, that's why I do it all the time.
Exactly. Which is why I don't piss you off.
And
She can be kind of a hothead.
she says, I know I'm sexy. You don't have to keep telling me.
I'm not telling you, I'm telling them.
The loggers are like, all right, well, if you can get rid of him, we'll definitely we definitely be more willing to leave this forest alone.
Well, and that would just make us just pleased as Dwarven Punch.
She says, do you mean the fist or the juice?
Yes.
So the loggers the loggers leave, and you go tell the druids what you said, and they say, oh, well, you're going to go fight that creature then.
Well, ideally not fight, but maybe.
Okay. He's again, the two druids cast they already cast 8 on you, so they just cast Longstrider on you. Again, refresh it for another hour. And the cleric casts Bless on you.
You guys are just a peach.
Says, you are helping us protect the clans. It is Obadiah's will that we help you.
Well, I would love to stay here and chat, but we have a shaman to deal with. Preferably not violently, but deal with as we need. Bye.
They bow, and again, as you are walking, well, maybe running at this point to get to the dock. You kind of, both of you kind of look back to see if they're still there, and they're not there anymore.
Druids. Their heart's in the right place, but just anyway.
So you pretty much run, since you guys move really fast now, and you run to the dock that they're telling you about, and of course people are like kind of like, you see guards are actually watching them, and they tell you where to go. And when you go there, you see the lizard folk under the bridge. He's got his scales, and he's holding like a stick with some what looks like potions on them. He says, more humans. What do you want?
Well, we're here to talk with you about possibly no longer sinking the ships as they try and leave. It's annoying a lot of people. It's not good for business. Maybe there's some other place where we can go talk to spirits and things.
He says, oh, me not here because me want to talk to spirits. Me go to the ocean for that.
Oh, well, then what are you here for?
He says, collect seashells. Seashells good for making new staffs and also very pretty ornaments. And you see he's just covered in like little seashell necklaces.
They are very pretty, and they set off your scales in a wonderful way, just so you know. So, is there a reason why you have to sink the ships to get seashells?
He says, oh, I don't need to sink ships for seashells. I need to sink ships for supplies. Magical
Oh,
supplies.
is there a particular magical supply you're looking for? Perhaps we could help you get it without sinking the ships and, ruining the commerce in this area.
He says, no. He says, you see, the magical supplies are in the water, and by sinking the ships, it causes much ruckus, much, much, much ruckus, and it makes up the fishies that I need.
Couldn't. Huh. So that's there's no other way.
He said, he thinks about it. He says, if I had thing to make loud noise, then perhaps I could.
Like, how loud of a noise would you need?
He says, I have. He points out to like the church bell, and he says, that noise.
Whew, that is a tall order. But you think that would do it? You wouldn't have to sink any more ships. You could just use that.
Yes.
Would you need it to be underwater? Could it be perhaps in the water, on the water, next to the
He
water?
says, you just get me that, and I will be able to use it.
I will see what I can do.
So you two walk up like the hill a bit from the beach, and Alyssa just says, are you sure we just don't want to kill him?
No, I'm not sure at all, but I don't want him running away into the ocean when we try and kill him. So maybe if I just go up here and talk to these folks for a minute, we'll go right back and then we'll beat him to death. How's that sound?
Okay, that's fair. And you guys go talk to the church, and let's hasten the process a bit because I have to go soon.
Okay.
The father says, "Oh, the bell. That thing's quite expensive." And you begin talking to him.
So is sunken ships.
Shit. Fucking Christ, Alyssa. Chill out. She rolled a 25 and he rolled a 20.
That is beautiful. Oh, I love her.
She's like, well, didn't you lose anything on those ships? And he's like, rubbing the back of his head. He says, yes, I've lost a bunch of personal things, as a matter of fact. And I do have more on the way in replacements. And he scratches the back of his head. He says, all right, you can have the bell. It's only 50 gold anyways. He shows you where he has this extra bell just kind of laying around. He says the other one was getting worn down, so I wanted to get a new one. Surprise the clergy, but if it means that the lizard folk will stop sinking our ships, then by all means.
How about this? Are there any ships due in the next couple days?
He says it should come in about 5 days.
Okay, why don't you trade out the old bell for the new? Take the old bell, give it to the lizard folk. Problem solved.
He
You
says,
already have.
I'd agree to that if I didn't think the bell was going to break after much more use.
Good point. All right, fair enough. Order another bell. Don't worry about losing stuff.
So you 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 bring the lizard folk this really heavy bell. The both of you can carry it. Once you kind of drop it, the lizard folk in front, drop it in front of the lizard folk. He's like, "Yes, that's just the kind of bell I need."
Excellent. The only issue is payment.
He says, "What do you mean?"
Well, I mean, you've been taking a lot of stuff out of those ships. If you were to remove the non perishable, destroyed items from those ships, leave them up on the shore, that will be your payment for this bell. And you don't have to worry about trying to sink more ships. You go down, take the get the fish that you need to with the bell. You won't have to sink any more ships, and the people of the town won't be upset that their goods have been destroyed by you.
He
What do
says,
you think?
"I get you. I get you." He grabs onto the bell and drags it into the water, and you see him go into the water. After you and Alyssa start beginning negotiating with him, he is going to swim down. I rolled the wrong dice. So he's going to bring up a potion and a scroll. Or sorry, he can't bring up the scroll. So he gives you 2 potions.
Awesome.
And he says, "For you, my friends."
Now, isn't it nice making friends? And I give him a hug.
He's a little slimy right now.
That's okay.
Okay.
She's got prestidigitation. I'm not worried about it.
So after you get the potions, and because I know you're going to identify them at some point, one of them is just a healing potion, and the other one is a potion of climbing.
Yeah, I'll take the potion of climbing and give the potion of healing to Alyssa.
Okay. You gave the greater one to her too, or did you take that?
Yeah, I'll let her hold on to it. I mean, if it's needed, then one of us will need it, and I've got healing if we have to have it. So I would let her hold on to that stuff.
So it's taken you all day, but after convincing the lizard folk, he takes the bell, and you actually see him leave the harbor. So you can see him like with his tail just kind of swishing out of the water as he's moving the bell along. And the loggers are definitely really happy and with the results, and they tell you that they already put in a request to the dancing flame to get rid of it, and of course you head back, and you are going to receive 25 gold for the knoll. You're going to receive 25 gold for the shaman, and you're going to receive 50 gold for the druids. So 100 gold in total. And so that means 50 gold each. And
Not a bad day's work. And we only had to kill one thing.
she says, "Thank God. Don't want to clean any more blood off of me."
Speaking of cleaning, could you kind of get rid of the slime for me? Because it's starting to make me feel.
She says, I tried to tell you, but it got all up in your beard and you just tried to ignore it. And she casts Prestidigitate on you and gets rid of it all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And is that the new one? What's the new one? Okay, that's the old one. New. And this is the new one. So I have to go all the way up here. Okay, it wasn't the new one. Oh well. So just to kind of end things off, infinity. So to summarize, you were in the forest, the misty forest. You went down southwest, found Dave, went all the way up to Starfall, brought him home, and then you went out. And in between, you went around the
No number
outlet.
available. Press Uconnect phone button and say text.
God. You get to Starfall and you found the inn, and they had some jobs that needed to be done. You went to Alicor and the surrounding forest, and you completed the tasks, and you went back to Starfall, and they paid you as well for various rewards for talking to the druids and talking to the shaman, and killing the gnoll, and helping the loggers. So everyone's kind of got a good attitude about you in Starfall, and they give you, as part of your service, they give you a free night's rest and a meal for the night. And that's where we'll end off, and I will reward you with another experience point.
Woohoo!
So you too should have 2 experience.
Excelente. The joys of being a life cleric. Not everything has to die.
And yep, and with that on the broadcast, I hope you had fun.
I did. Thanks for running this.
And hopefully other people and duos won't get too nervous about playing. So see you guys next time.